Couple of things without making it too personal. Ooh, what is that? That I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I wanted to quit smoking cigarettes. Obviously, addiction, yada yada. I'll figure it out. You know me. So here's what I'm noticing about cigarettes. Cigarettes are not like weed. Weed attacks you very, very fast, and it wants you to know. The plant, on a survivalistic level, the plant seems to act this way as a way to deter predators from eating it, so deter predators from chewing it. And I know you could say that it's not really activated unless you burn it or whatever, but even in, the loss of the plant causes its psychoactive effects. Weed is very obvious. Weed, we've developed a relationship with, in that so long as we're allowed to smoke it, we'll continue growing it in large numbers, and it just changes the way we interact with it. So we can assume the same thing happened with cigarettes. But here's how cigarettes seem to affect things differently than weed. When I smoke a cigarette, I don't notice much change. I mean, I'll notice a change. Like suddenly, it'll feel like I'm carrying more weight. Suddenly, it'll feel like the air changed. The flow of what's happening just became a little thicker. And then the next time, I won't notice any change at all. Or maybe things will get lighter. And I'm starting to perceive cigarettes sort of like that basic predator behavior of waiting until you get too close to let you know that you're in danger. So, the other day I was smoking a cigarette, and I happened to combine it with marijuana, and that was a very different experience. It felt like out of nowhere I could tell that I was bleeding. It was strange. It was like I could see. It was like I couldn't see it visually, but it felt like a hole that opened up, and I was so close to it that it was dangerous. I could see. No, the plant that it scared me while I was high. It didn't really scare me. It just started looking like something else. Um, it was like suddenly it was just being revealed to me that I was being killed by cigarettes. It was just revealed to me, but I couldn't do anything about it. I didn't understand it, and so I perceived this as natural predator behavior. A spider, one of the ones that dig holes in the ground and waits for an animal to get close. You think the spider's playing the lottery? You think the spider is what is that? Bro, come on. You think the spider's playing the lottery, or do you think the spider, whenever it's hungry, whenever it wants to trap something, is pulling everything that it can towards the hole, pulling everything it can towards the burrow, and that the animals might feel it but might not understand it. They might go, the air, something feels different, something feels strange. Okay, I'm not in any danger though, so they keep going. That's kind of strange. What is this? Until they're right next to the hole. Then the spider grabs them, sneaks in, takes them into the hole. They're gone. Seems to be the same way the cigarettes are working. You're not quite sure how you're being affected, but you know something's up, but you don't feel any danger. Not until it's too late. Not until you've gotten close to its trap. Not until you've gotten close to the hole that has a predator waiting inside to snatch you. I've been argued that because I'm not working, that I'm not providing anything. And that in order to have any form of trade with the environment, I need to have a job. And while I agree in most situations that is the case, I would like to defend myself here. So, the argument is, I guess I'm done with the cigarette. It put itself out. It was like, oh, he caught me. He caught me. Oh my god. Ew, what is that? It was like, oh my gosh, he caught me. What the fuck? put itself out. So, did I put that cigarette in my fucking pocket? Is that what I did? No, it's okay. Here's the thing about the argument that I'm not providing anything if I don't have a job. Most of the people that are my age that have jobs aren't in any high position, aren't in any high responsibility positions. Working at a restaurant, maybe they're an intern, maybe they're, and this is what I said, I don't want to make it too personal, I'm just kind of defending myself. Maybe they're working at a car wash, right? And the argument is, even if I'm fucking curing cancer on my YouTube channel, no one's watching it, so it doesn't matter, right? That's wrong. I get a lot of views, and I get immediate reactions from the environment based on what I post on my channel, based on what I'm thinking. So, these systems in which the people around me have jobs and claim that me not having a job means that I cannot become involved with my peer group, can be given to because I'm not giving, right? The systems that they're in, they don't hunt the food, they don't package the food, they're not in the areas where the conflict of survival is. The food is already packaged, the food is already delivered. The most that they're doing is they're waiting on somebody to say, hey, I would like that food. And they're going, okay. And they're warming it up and they're giving it to them. That's all their job is. That's all their job is. And they might have to sweep, they might have to clean. Even I do that in my position. I've gone around and I picked up trash. I keep trying to, but I think every time I do, like me picking up trash is like a community service argument. So I'm kind of being kept from doing that for the purpose of preventing me from saying, no, I did work today. I did do something. So my whole point is, on my channel, bro, it's still there. That's so upsetting. That is so upsetting. No, that's the second time I took it away. There's a large confusion, a loss that's taking everybody, causing competition, causing conflict. We can argue that this is the debt that we're all facing. This is the American, national, international loss that we're facing, that we're all fighting together as a group. And in my homelessness, in my investigation, I've noticed patterns. I've noticed games that this loss plays with us. And so, let's say the guys who are fishing, the guys who go on boats and they're constantly fishing, are playing a game of survival in which, as something that needs to trade with the environment in order to survive, that needs to establish that it's not taking more than it needs to, so that the environment cannot send predators towards me. These fishermen are playing a dangerous game in which they have to justify why they're fishing. Try not to take too much, because even if it sounds like they're not doing this, even they have to worry about the population of fish before they fish too much and run out of their food supply forever. I get closer to the animals, I get closer to the plants. I try to understand what their relationship is. I determine that plants are trading in the sense that they offer something at the end of their ability to grow as a trade with the environment. And what this does is the animals take from those things, they take from those petals, we take from those petals, and the animals take from those petals, they go around, they eat them, they eat them, they go to another area, they shit, they fertilize, the plants grow there now. And that's their trade. They just keep going. We eat them, we smoke them, they keep going, we keep growing them. That's their trade. That's our trade, right? So, whereas other people my age are only participating in the end of these structures that provide and keeping themselves at a somewhat ethical imbalance by not being concerned about this level of trade that we have to confirm with the environment to maintain the control of the predation that the loss has on us. Most of them press a button, and then if something needs to be swept, they sweep. Most of them wait for something to be warmed up when somebody wants it. Most of them are waiting to be told what to do by someone else. But none of them are at that point where they are actually experiencing the loss head on, where they're at the top of the chain and they're not the ones being told what to do, they're the ones that have to tell what to do. Because if they get something wrong, the entire company loses. Everyone loses. Everything becomes disorganized. Everything becomes lost. I come out, I struggle to survive. And I learn what the loss is doing. I even communicate to the entire world, to society, who pretends that they're not affected by what I'm doing, who pretends that what I say does not matter, who keeps my view count low, despite the fact that I have somebody next to me somewhat referencing it. And based on what you said, no one should be watching my channel. No, I shouldn't know someone that close. I face the loss head on. I come to understand it. I measure it. I understand its patterns. I understand how it's attacking us. I understand how a decision made over here causes fighting in this area. I understand how, let's say, the argument of the survivalistic argument, which is you need to keep taking, you need to keep providing things, you need to go out there and you need to show us that you can hunt and you can gather because we're hungry, there's too many of us. We get to the point where we say, well, where's all this stuff coming from? I answer those questions. Where's all this stuff coming from? Because without that answer, we're just taking until there's nothing left to take. And now, the survival formation we had as a group is being broken apart because we have less to distribute amongst ourselves. So I say, hey, notice how this animal only gets close. And it looks somewhat threatening, but it only gets close. And while we're all panicked, while we're all scared, we're expected to act on it. One of us gets up and kills it. Those animals are all working, its species, like the birds, all sharing a brain. You just treat them all like neurons a part of a brain. Ants, neurons a part of a giant brain, figuring out how to get from the environment without losing. An animal just comes next to us and it sits, and it just stays there. One of us gets up and kills it. Now, let's say it's an insect. Let's say it's a roach. This animal organism split into a bunch of tiny organisms says they took from us and we weren't doing anything wrong. Now roaches appear in our homes more often. Now roaches are appearing in our businesses more often. How come we don't hunt the birds? Birds behave in a weird way where they all work together, they all form together, but there seems to be a pattern of fending for yourself. You don't get to be a part of the group if you cannot fend for yourself. But I also notice with birds that they migrate. They go from place to place. Now, if we isolated them as their own community and they had to face the argument of where's all this stuff coming from, what we could say the birds are doing in their migration pattern is they are going to an area that has developed mass, that has grown, and they are just taking as much as they can. And then when the area loses what it's grown, when the area no longer has anything to provide, they're going to another area. They're migrating to an area that without their presence has had time to grow, has had time to produce. And they're taking from there as long as they can. And once that's out, they find another area that has had time to grow, that has had time to produce. The information that they might be trading is, hey, there's food over here, just so you guys know. Hey, there's stuff in this area, just so you guys know. I'm gonna get some while I'm here. So to bring things back to my whole argument, which is the claim that I'm not providing anything because I don't have a job in which someone asks me to heat up food. I don't have a job in which somebody says, "Hey, can you sweep that over there?" I'm still providing to humanity in that these new forms of predation that we don't know yet, these new forms of predation that we're unaware of, these ethical challenges that nature gives us, I'm watching them. I'm seeing how they prey on us, and I'm distributing that information to everybody. You're waiting for someone to tell you what to do. I'm going out there and I'm figuring out why it is somebody has to tell us what to do in the first place. You're pressing a button so that a machine can do your job. I am the machine trying to do the job here. You don't have any money though. All you're doing, if you hung out with us, all you'd be doing is taking from us. No. A lot of you exist with the goal of taking as much as you can. And you might have family values. You take so that you can give to your family, but even then, that would just be a giant predator unit at that point. I exist with the goal of making sure that we're not taking so much that we become stupid. I mean, we're at that age where you guys think of Jason Voorhees as a film, as a story, but Jason Voorhees is actually the comprehension of a natural predator against people in my peer group once they reach this point. You're out of college, you're out of high school, and nature's arguing that you're not providing anything. Most of us are still spoiled. Most of us will still say, no, that's not fucking fair. I shouldn't just fucking die right now. Bro, just give me some money. Mom, give me some money. Dad, give me some money. I don't want to work. All that stuff, right? And so Jason Voorhees, as the story goes, these teens are being irresponsible, and it cost a child their life. It cost something that was innocent their life. Their irresponsible actions are causing losses in this area, and Jason Voorhees is here to clean up the mess. There have been times where I've hung out with people my age and I've literally watched them do something stupid, something completely stupid, and all of them were just saying it. And I just was like, okay, I don't know what to do now. I noticed it, but I didn't want to start a fight with the group, so I just had to keep it to myself. Jason Voorhees preys on those moments. He preys on those stupidities. He preys on those losses. And those losses are being caused by the fact that at this point, some of us are not providing as much as we take. And that loss is affecting all of the shared community. So we become stupid. Holes in our logic, holes in our thinking, holes in our ability to defend ourselves. Now, it won't be Jason Voorhees. It'll be a Karen. It won't be Jason Voorhees. It'll be the manager who just won't leave you guys alone. It won't be Jason Voorhees. It'll be cheating. It won't be Jason Voorhees. It'll be, bro, I know you're my friend, but it felt like I kept being told that I had to have sex with her to survive, bro. You don't get it, bro. Like, it kept being told that I wouldn't be able to stay here if I didn't try, bro. You don't get it, bro. That's what it is. I already know how to beat Jason Voorhees, and it's not like I did kind of study him, but I know how to beat Jason Voorhees. The argument is, I don't have a job, I don't have access to currency, money, therefore I'm not providing anything. You've seen me be homeless, and you've seen me manage to survive this homelessness in several ways. You've seen me constantly show you that I'm in a new area that is relatively nice given my situation. An argument that could be used, he's homeless, but he's not really suffering. Only someone who's trying to figure out how to take what I have would say that. Only someone trying to argue that the environment needs to give up for them would say that. My whole point being that even without money, even without a direct chain that allows for me to have money, that somehow I'm still providing enough thinking, intelligence, and space for myself to always end up in a relatively okay situation. And I'm not preying on anybody. I'm not looking at them calculating, okay, they did this, so I can go here and take this from them, and they can't do anything about it. No, I'm saying I know that if I do that, then somebody else can do that to me. I know that. A form of predation. Every time you all take from each other, every time you all say, I deserve to be here, that person doesn't, there's now something coming at you from nature saying, well, we deserve to be here and you don't. I figure that out. I teach you that. I stop that from happening. You all say, oh, he's always talking. Oh, who does he think he is? Why does he think he know everything? What I do changes the way you behave. Oh my gosh, that's so gross, dude. Changes the way you behave. Changes the way you distribute. Increases the longevity of your groups, of your society's survival. Those who are just taking, that don't want to listen, don't like the idea that they have to alter their distribution method. Because all they're hearing is that they might need to give up some of what they have. I can't blame them for that. I'd hate to do that too. If you told me that I had to give up everything in my backpack, that I had to give up my tablet, that I had to give up my clothes, I'd say, okay, that's a little too far. I don't like that. But what I'm really telling you is the pattern of trying to take as much as you can without giving as much as you can preys on us so that it can keep taking from us, so that we can end up in losses, so that we can end up unable to survive. My providence is that I study the pattern of that and I communicate how it affects us so that even if you guys never admit that you learned something from me, you can say, oh no, that is what that is, and change your behavior, and now you've avoided falling for a predation trap that will get you to take something later on so that it can take something from you around that time. Because if y'all are just getting drunk, if y'all are just getting high, y'all are just smoking cigarettes, and you're not even comprehending how much that's justifying nature taking from us, while you're all cozy, while you're all hanging out, fucking each other every day, having a good time partying. Oh, the news channel is saying that there's war happening. Let's turn that off. Right? We're all still losing. And we all still have to compensate for that loss, give up something. You might argue, well, those people have been here longer. They should have figured this out before, so they should be the ones that lose more than us. That may be true, but they were just like you. Why should I be the one that has to lose here? I'm being a little rude, but I'm not being rude at all. I'm not being rude whatsoever. So, the argument is, I'm not providing money. And even then, sometimes I still do get money. And I get it in real ways. I get it in a trade. I do something and it gets me paid. You guys don't want to hear this. That's why the summary keeps broken apart here. Yeah, even my speech is broken apart there. When you talk with your attempt to take as much as you can, to be the one who gets laid tonight, when everyone's trying to figure out why they can't, to be the one who gets weed tonight, when everyone's trying to figure out why they can't, to be the one who gets drunk tonight, when everyone's trying to figure out why they can't, I come in and I say, oh, hey, you guys have a hole. There's a hole in what you got. Hey, there's this little logical hole in what you're doing here. Yo, I know what this is. Yo, I know exactly what group behavior you guys have that's causing this. Here. Here's a story. Here's a joke. Here's a, hey, have you guys ever thought about this before? And all of a sudden, you're thinking about it and you're seeing it, and now that hole is getting a little smaller because your behavior's changed and it can't take from you as much. How come all the girls want to fuck this guy? How come everybody likes him? He doesn't even have money. He doesn't even provide anything. He just... Oh man, they're using those arguments against me. I can't do anything. Homeless. Oh, fuck. Well, if you wouldn't have fucking took my social security and my ID, maybe I'd have a fucking job. You see I'm willing to work. Doesn't matter. You should figure it out anyway. You're smart. Okay.